right? And the answer was $100, and we spent $100, and we left.
Nice.
We are live, by the way.
That's the way you handle casinos. If you go in thinking you're going to win, you just go in there and say, how much money do I want to spend here for entertainment, right?
I never think I'm going to win.
You're not. That's the thing. And so we played slots for a while. Actually, did okay. We could have got out with a profit of like $40, and then we lost on roulette because I don't know how to play roulette very well, apparently, or I just picked bad. And then we played some more slots, and then we got the hell out of there, and that was it. So,
not bad.
To our YouTube people, I'm sorry, I'm eating soup. Hang on, let me turn off the mic.
Eating soup.
I was trying to find the name of the Dr. Dre song that I heard in GTA 5 that I wanted to talk about, and I couldn't remember the name of it. But I'm pretty sure it's still DRE. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That song's great.
Yeah.
What you think? I sold them all? That's the one with Eminem in it as well, and Snoop.
It's Snoop. Yeah, that's every Dr. Dre song.
True. It's got Eminem and Snoop, though.
All right, guys. I think we got it. I am recording.
Oh, I don't.
Do you like pozole, Jeremy?
Oh, I love pozole.
We have a friend who's from Ecuador, and she made me pozole tonight.
Does it have hominy in it?
It does have hominy in it.
Oh yeah, it does.
Hell yeah, it does. And it's actually different. I've never had pozole because usually you have it as red, right? It's got like a red base with pork in it.
Yep.
This has hominy and cabbage and carrots, but it's got like a green, like a light green base.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
And it's got chicken instead of pork, but it still has the hominy. And it's still
so it's like a chili verde.
Yeah, exactly. It's like enchiladas verde or chili verde pozole. It's like really good. I put some lime in it. Yeah. Anyway, she makes some bomb ass food sometimes.
Really, that's great.
And by sometimes I mean all the time. And by all the time, she shares it with me like every time she makes good food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I don't really like as much as I wish I did. As much as I wish gazpacho. Gazpacho is not.
It's always cold.
Did you ever?
It is cold. I wish it weren't. Cold.
Did you ever watch that Red Dwarf episode about gazpacho soup?
I don't think so.
Did you ever watch Red Dwarf? First of all, there's the first question.
Occasionally, I wasn't a fan.
There was a whole episode about gazpacho soup where they like served it hot or something, or the guy like had this.
Yeah.
He had like his higher up was there, and he invited him over for like a dinner party on the ship or something, and he served him hot gazpacho soup, and it fucked up his whole career or something like that. And that was like the whole basis of the episode.
It sounds like a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It kind of does. That's what I always wish gazpacho were like at least warm. Like room temperature.
So the whole episode was him being mad at himself because it actually had happened in the past or something, and so he was mad at himself for like his past problems.
Heated gazpacho.
This is so funny.
That's a great band name. Heated Gazpacho.
Heated gazpacho.
Canned heat followed by heated gazpacho.
Classical gazpacho. That's the second classical gas reference that we've made in 2 weeks. You're still eating that soup. You gotta just like wolf it. No, don't wolf it. It needs to be savored. You monster.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I really am spoiled by her. She's awesome. I'm actually going to be the host of her daughter's wedding.
Oh, really? Wow.
On the 5th of... Actually, the date... No, the 2nd? It's the day that Endwalker comes out.
Test.
That's a bad...
The 3rd of December. And I have to like be the announcer and now presenting Mr. and Mrs.
Be right back.
Whatever their names are. So that's my penance for freaking Pilsol.
Taking work off.
Yeah. Actually took work off for Endwalker.
Yeah.
And then now I got to go do the wedding. In the
Oh, yeah,
afternoon.
is that out yet?
No, it got delayed till the
week,
3rd.
week from Friday. So 2
Oh,
weeks,
right.
less than 2 weeks away.
I'm still not caught up.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get my ninja class up to, I don't know why, but I have this stupid goal to get ninja up to level 80. Or is it 70? 80. I'm level 69 right now. Nice, huh? Okay. All right.
Okay.
Whoa, sorry. My volume just cranked, didn't it? There we go. Is that better?
A little better. It's about the same.
I noticed
Yeah,
no
should be.
difference.
Should be about
whatsoever.
the same. That's
Why are you
because
getting
I
mad at me,
noticed
you
and I
little
turned it down.
Goblin? I got this cat in my lap, and he's suddenly just getting all angry and biting me.
So, all right, let's record. Let's do this. Are we all recording? Are we doing this?
As far as I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Ready whenever.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
clap.
I'm good.
Hold on. a
1,
second.
2,
Oh, well,
3.
Dale's not.
All right, now we're ready.
1,
Okay.
2, 3. All right.
321. It didn't do it this time.
All right.
40.6. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Game by Show podcast. It is November 22nd, 2021. My name is LeGrande Jolly, your host for this evening. And this evening, we are joined again by everybody, all of us. Everyone's here. There's Jeremy. Hello,
Hi.
Jeremy. There's Dale.
Hey,
And Jerod. Hello, Jerod.
What's up?
Nothing is up.
We
Just
got through the
easy.
names so fast that time, guys.
That's
I was gonna.
because-
Let's slow
I
it
didn't-
down. Let's
No,
back it up.
No. There's a lot of times where Jerod doesn't get introduced, and I feel bad. So this time we just rolled it out quickly.
Let's just hear from Jerod today. Jerod, how are you doing? Yeah, you slurp on that.
I'm doing good, honestly.
I'll tell you what the best thing about these microphones, and Jerod can attest to this as well. There's a mute button right here. I can mute
Yeah, you can.
and unmute. You guys didn't hear me say and slurp, but I totally did when I muted myself. Yeah, it's great. Anyway,
What you got in your mug there, Jerod?
It's a tea. I forget which kind. It's like a green tea.
I got cyberpunk coffee here.
Looks like an invisibility potion.
I've got water.
Nice. Cyberpunk's $10, but we're skipping ahead here.
You have a PlayStation 5 controller?
That's what I've got, and it's delicious.
Nice. Did you guys see the meme I posted in the Discord channel?
No.
Yeah, about the half off Xbox.
Half off Xbox.
Oh, that.
Xbox Series X's. They're only $500 right now.
Nice. What a good day. Good day.
What a
y'all.
deal. What a deal. Bargains.
What a
Bargains.
day.
Well, guys, here we are again. I don't think we have anything to talk about. I think we burnt all of our pre-show banter on our commentary talking about gazpacho soup.
If you want to see the banter, go watch the YouTube archive.
That's right.
Because it's
so for our YouTube listeners, that's where you're going to get that. Everyone else will have to wait and get the watered down edition of the podcast.
Trust me, I cut it because it's just no good. You just don't.
You don't want watered down gazpacho.
It's true.
No.
Nobody wants watered down hot gazpacho soup. Okay?
No.
Nobody wants that. But
Maybe a little.
But guys, let's kick this off right. Talking about some video games. I've got a couple games that I played. One new and one older.
All right.
I played. So I was on a trip this last weekend to bring sports back into the mix. I was at a football tournament in Mesquite, Nevada. That old trash hole. If you've ever been through Nevada from I-15 side on your way to Disneyland, you've driven through Mesquite, and there's not a lot in Mesquite. There's a handful of casinos. There's a sports complex, and that's it. And that's where we
steak
had
seasoning.
That's right. And that's where we had the football tournament.
That's
anyway.
in Mesquite, Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
You
true.
know, I never actually realized that. I always thought it was Mesquite, Nevada.
Named after Mesquite, Nevada.
This is I got a picture next to the sign and everything. That's
Both
terrible.
delicious.
Holding the Mesquite.
Yeah, I know.
spice,
I was
right?
like, look at this steak.
Anyway, so I played a bunch of mobile games. I was gone from like Wednesday through Saturday night late, and I played. There's not a lot to do in Mesquite. Let's just say that, unless you want to spend money at the casinos, which I do not. Therefore, I played mobile games on my phone because the internet was not good enough to stream xCloud, and I did try. So I picked up again. I just want to talk about this briefly. Just League of Legends Wild Rift, which is basically League of Legends on mobile, and that game is fantastic. Like I talked about it before on the show, but I did play a bunch of that. I picked up a new character. I probably played, I don't know, half a dozen rounds over the weekend, and that game is great. So for on-the-go MOBA gaming, League of Legends Wild Rift, you can't go wrong with that. It's better than the desktop game because the rounds only last like 20 minutes or less.
It's convenient. It's nice, and you can have like it'll do a lot of like quality of life, like auto. I mean, maybe the main game does this too, but it seems like I never have to fiddle with any of that store stuff or anything. Like it'll just auto buy everything.
It's streamlined. It's a streamlined mobile experience, and it makes the MOBA. It's basically Heroes of the Storm is a streamlined MOBA as well on desktop. So if you don't like League of Legends because it's complexities, play Heroes of the Storm. But if you still want League of Legends, then play Wild Rift on your phone. It's really good.
It is good.
Anyway, so I played a bunch of that. Also, I picked up a game on Apple Arcade called Transformers Tactical Arena.
I saw that. Like, this is new, right?
Yeah, I think it just got added to Apple Arcade, and I don't know if it's on other places as well. I would imagine
something about Transformers somewhere. So I think Transformers are coming back.
Yeah. So this is well, first of all,
1980s Transformers.
The most important part. This is 80s Transformers. Like that. That is the most important part of this. There's no Beast Wars. There's no weird animated, Megatron or whatever. This is like legit 1980s Transformers, which is great. So Tactical Arena, this is effectively, you guys ever play Clash Royale?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where you kind of like send dudes up and they kind of do their thing? And
that's a very addictive game.
This is Clash Royale Transformers Edition. Basically the exact same game. Okay. The only difference being, and the most important difference, and I've talked about this in the past, but Apple Arcade, their policy is no premium currency, no microtransactions, no bullshit. This is just the game. And so you can't buy your way to better cards or whatever, right? Which is cool. So in this case, every time you win a game, you get a card pack or a card loot box or whatever with new cards. And every time and then there's missions you can complete to give you new cards. But effectively, think of all the different units. And I don't remember much of Clash Royale. I did play quite a bit of it. But think of all the units you have in Clash Royale. They have a version of those now with Transformers. So but then you've got the different named characters. So you've got, Optimus Prime is the first one you get. You've got Starscream's in there. I've got Grimlock I just unlocked the other day.
Nice.
And then you've got Ratchet,
Wheeljack, Jazz.
They're all there. And then they have like these other ones that are like little minions. What's his name? The cassette guy.
Razor, I think, is the
guy with the cassette deck on with the shoots out.
Sound is it Soundwave?
Yeah, Soundwave's in it. I have Soundwave.
But I'm thinking of the little pterodactyl and the puma that comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
The actual cassette guy.
So he actually shoots those out of him, and then those are little minions that run around with Soundwave.
Hey, that's awesome. So does it use like all the sound effects? Do you get like voice acting
all
and
of
stuff?
It. So they transform, and so when you
Starscream is like Megatron.
All of that.
I'm not going to fight Optimus Prime.
It's all that. So when you drop Grimlock has like a sound cue, so you know that Grimlock has been dropped. Like,
you know what?
Grimlock
Maybe this is the time for me to get into this baloney kind of game.
Hot Rod's there. Sorry, not sorry.
That's Hot Rod before he becomes Rodimus Prime.
Yes, he's not Rodimus Prime. He's Hot Rod. So Hot Rod has got like flames that he shoots out, and so he like can destroy. He does like AOE damage. So if you drop like those minions that have like the big old swarm of little dudes, he can burn them all down. Megatron you can drop him into semi-truck mode or into normal Optimus Prime mode. And when you drop him in semi-truck mode, he actually just goes driving really fast towards the first building he comes across and does big damage when he hits it. And when he hits it, he explodes out and transforms into robot Optimus Prime and then starts whacking away at the building.
That's cool.
Anyway,
I'm still messed up from when Optimus Prime died. I think I'm still...
Dude, you want to know what really messed me up? So, yes, Optimus Prime dying, when I saw the movie in the theaters, the first movie I ever saw in the movie theaters was Transformers the movie in 1984, 83, 84 probably when it came out.
This 40 years ago, man.
Right. And so then that killed me. But the movie was great. And I was like, oh, yeah, Rodimus, he's cool. Like, look at that. He's like a freaking Winnebago. He's great, right? And but then they had that episode when they found Optimus Prime's tomb.
Yes,
and
and
they
then it was
brought
like,
him
oh,
back to life.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And then he was like scary.
Oh my gosh, dude! I lost it when he died again in that movie. That killed me.
I think wasn't that just the TV show? Like I don't even think that was a movie.
It was an episode. It was an episode.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is going on here? I remember that.
And it murdered me, dude. Like I was in tears. Like I don't remember being as upset when he died in the movie, but when he came back and then he was like all messed up and Rodimus gave him back he gave him back the matrix of leadership.
Autobot leadership, yeah.
Yeah, he gave him that back, and then he like went all crazy, and then he was gonna do some weird stuff, and then he like drove his ship into the sun.
Oh,
like
man.
I was like
hate when I do
bawling.
That.
They just don't make. They don't make.
LeGrande was bawling
watching
that
drama
episode
like
of Transformers.
Hey, incidentally, you know what else really messed me up? Did you ever see that episode of the Smurfs when they got that disease that would make them jump around and bite each other on the tails, and then they would get the disease, and then it was like a zombie like spread. It was.
No, it sounds pretty good though.
It was that one. I like probably still have nightmares about. Just FYI, that was bad.
Anyway. So anyway, Transformers Tactical Arena. If you have Apple Arcade, I believe it's probably only on Apple Arcade.
Really? Because I was thinking this sounds good to me. Like I would like to play this. I think.
I'm gonna look it up really quick just so we know. It's only on Apple Arcade. Right
oh
now.
Man.
A lot of times they will eventually
really
come to other platforms, but it's a very good one of those. I probably win 50% of the time, and as you rank up, you gain like level points, and it starts matchmaking you with harder players and stuff.
Yeah,
like
sure.
That. So it does a pretty good job of that. I get frustrated sometimes, just because I'm not good at the game. Like I kind of suck at it. it's just a hard game to play.
That's the thing. Like I think I'm excited about it right now while you're talking about it, but I think if I were to actually download it, I'd probably get to the main menu and then be like,
no, you would have a blast for about
15 minutes,
maybe 2 hours.
Couple hours.
I've probably played 6 or 7 hours of this stupid game.
You know what? That's about all you can afford to play of games these days. You get a couple hours and like you're good.
Well, it's one you can just sit in bed at night and play a couple rounds of Transformers Tactical Arena. Like
I spend so much time getting ready to like play a video game in bed. I'm like, okay, I've got my chart here with my earbuds. Like I'm gonna do the thing. Like I've got my Switch Pro. Super Switch is like mounted to my headboard and everything, and then I'm out. Like it just never happens.
That usually happens, but the games only last like 2
I wake up surrounded by Xbox controllers. I'm like, what happened last night?
Anyway, check it out if you have Apple Arcade. It's a good one of those, and there's no microtransactions, so it's not like Clash Royale that way, which is great. So there you go, Transformers Tactical Arena, League of Legends Wild Rift. Consequently, I also watched the first episode of that Arcane series on Netflix, which was actually very good.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
I would recommend checking it out. Like the animation is really good. The voice acting is quality. The story seems good. You can't even tell it's League of Legends. Like it's very it's like just a good anime series.
They're going real IP with the League of Legends thing. They're you have this. You have like 3 or 4 other games that they're.
Yeah, that King of whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
Something. I know that one because it's got a vinyl record that's coming out with the
I think they'll probably start doing like comics and like tie-in novels and stuff as well.
I would imagine. Like
maybe it's time for me to get interested in the lore of.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's time. Well, I mean, this anime would be a good starting point because again, it's very cool. Like the world
very
seems
anime.
Cool, and it's pretty. It's not super anime. It's more. No, the animation style and the art is really
Castlevania-y.
No. You know what the art style looks like? A little bit like Tales from the Borderlands.
Really?
Everything's kind of like hard shaded and stuff.
All right. I'm kind of interested now. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it. I probably won't watch it.
You should watch it.
I might.
Watch the first episode. It's like 45 minutes long.
I might.
I've only watched one episode.
There's also like the Pacific Rim show I wanted to watch, and there's like more seasons of What We Do in the Shadows. There's like all kinds of TV, and I'm like, I genuinely want to watch it, but then I'm just like, I just want to lay down.
Well, you know what I watched the other night since we're on TV?
Okay.
The Amazon put up the first 3 episodes of The Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
Oh, how was that?
Right.
I haven't watched it yet.
I thought it was pretty cool, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't know what the reception has been other than I want to see the next episode.
So the only like negative stuff I've heard on that was they changed quite a bit from the book. So if you're expecting to watch the book, I think you're probably disappointed.
I don't
know.
books.
I don't know if they have. They have definitely changed a few things, but to me it doesn't seem like it's anything really consequential yet, except for except for one thing.
I mean,
And
like
I
the
can
whole,
understand why they did
like the
that.
whole main character.
Did y'all ever see the Sword of Shannara series?
No.
No, but I heard
No.
it was bad from people who like the
It-
books.
It was bad, and they
Oh.
had what's his name? God damn, I can't remember his name. Guy as Al-Anon was not an Al-Anon guy. Let's just
No.
say that. No. It was,
That's not the voice I heard in my head when I read the books.
No, it was the guy that plays. Dude,
Superman.
I'm drawing all sorts of blanks right now. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We, you know, it's TV. We're not interested in that.
We weren't really listening anyway.
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah.
Manu Bennett. There you go.
Oh yeah, Manu.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I thought he was a football player.
He never quit drinking.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been playing a multiplayer, or sorry, a mobile game as well, and as I am wont to do, I've sort of been I've been taking the bullet for the team, getting into these Final Fantasy one-off, spin-off game genres that Square is deciding they need.
I've also downloaded this, so
okay.
Get off your high horse. I've also
get ready, because actually, here's the thing, it's not bad. So what I'm talking about today is Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, which is only on mobile. I really feel like it's going to come to other platforms at some point.
Is this about Zach?
Well, no. So here's something about this. So this is their battle royale game, based on Final Fantasy VII, and of all of the battle royale games, no. Listen. So you asked about the story. Listen, this is the first battle royale game out of any of them that even tries to make some effort at having like a story that makes sense, and it does.
Excuse me, Hunt Showdown.
Yeah.
No. So it supposedly takes place like 30 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII, and what it is it's the sort of like the tryouts to get into the soldier program, I guess.
Cool.
So the idea is you have all of these guys coming in, and you customize them, but they all basically look the same. They're like spiky-haired guys, and they kind of dress a little bit like Cloud. But you can have some vaguely. Yeah,
they have sweet wallet chains.
Yeah. Oh yeah, chains. They got all that. Yep, they do.
I'm in.
Maybe a little bit of eyeliner here and there. And so you come in on helicopters, and you come into this arena that is, pretty large and diverse, but it all somehow looks like all the garbage sitting around in the slums in Final Fantasy VII, basically. So you're kind of out in this dusty, like, plateau areas. There's buildings that kind of look like they're boards that are kind of just ramshackled together. And there's like monsters in there, so you actually kind of have almost a little bit of a MOBA-esque kind of jungly kind of system going on, where there are bombs, the Final Fantasy bomb enemies that you hit them enough and they kind of explode up and those kinds of things. There's also lower level guys that you can get, but basically the thing is same as usual. You jump in and out of a helicopter. You can actually control the helicopter at first too. You can kind of get like an extra. Yeah, that's right. So everybody's flying in on their own individual helis. And then you can decide when you want to jump out, and then you jump out and you kind of do like this anime like fall into the arena.
You fall upside down and backwards.
Yeah, like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I get that reference. That's good.
Cool.
But you fall down and you're basically doing battle royale stuff. So you get your you always start with a melee, which I think is different. I'm not sure that a lot of MOBAs or a lot of battle royales give you a lot of melee skills, but you get melee in this. You get like a big sword, and the melee attacks are pretty substantial. So
melee is pretty important in Hunt Showdown.
Is it? Okay, so you have something similar to that here. Yeah. And there are classes also, I want to say. So you can be a warrior fighter who has a sword, kind of a, not a buster sword, nothing real oversized, but, decent sized sword.
Well,
you have your ninjas. Yeah, you bust rhymes, all of that. There are magician classes, and there are
magician class.
Yeah. So get this. So in addition to picking up guns, because you still pick up guns and you can swap between two guns. There are also these. I don't think these are the materias. I'm not sure. I've never really been clear on exactly what materias are in Final Fantasy, but you can get these spells.
You ever played a Final Fantasy VII game before?
I mean, the Little Big Planet version of it. I did.
So no.
You guys think I'm joking about that? That is literally my experience.
You don't deserve to understand what materia are.
No, I accept.
I don't get it. What's materia?
What
that is
materia?
The whole core of the entire freaking Final Fantasy VII
All right,
story.
so you find these blobby things, and they give you magic, and you have 3 magic slots. The magic slots are, your Fira, Blizzara,
Yeah,
Curaga, like all Arrow, all of those things,
Pandora.
and they do different things. Kind of like Jared and I had played the what was it, Spellbreakers? Is that what that game was?
Yeah.
Spell something. So you can carry 3 basically magic abilities, and the more you find those again, the more they level up. So it actually works a lot like Spellbreakers in that sense, because when you find one, you basically accumulate, and so your level 1 Fira turns into a Ferrara and then a Firaga or whatever. But that's typically like late game kind of stuff because you got to find those things. They all have different, like for example, the Fira, the fire spells. They have an arc, and you can actually play with controller, which is cool. So this is on a phone, but it does have full controller support, and so you can do like left bumper to kind of access your magic menu, and then you can do either right bumper, right trigger, or I think you can push in the right stick to do a summon or something like that. So you have fire that like goes in an arc and explodes in a fireball. You have ice that sets up like a little ice turret and auto fires at guys around you. You have air that sets up kind of like in Fortnite, there's those bouncy things that you can bounce up. So you can kind of do that with arrow here. You can cure yourself. There's a bio spell that kind of gums people down and saps their health. All kinds of things. In addition, it has this summon system where if you and I have not come across, I've only done it in the tutorial. I've not come across it in the actual game, but you can actually do these summons where you get this big dude who comes down and then he'll just like autonomously go off and like fight guys, which is pretty cool. And it still does that same Battle Royale thing. You're still counting down dudes until you get to number 1. It still does the concentric, or not concentric, but it has the zones that kind of contract over time. And then, of course, all of the typical, find a gun, pick it up. Is it better than the last one? All of that. There's a parkour
How's the
thing.
gunplay? Is it like targeting, or do you have to like actually aim, or
there's 3 modes that you can do. You can do it where you'll auto fire as soon as your reticle is over someone or like kind of credibly in the area, and that actually works pretty all right. It's not super accurate. You can also do where it's there's another mode, but then there's just like full manual mode as well. So they give you some options. Kind of taking into consideration the fact that this is on a phone and the controls are soft controls and they're kind of weird. But and then of course there are all of the leveling systems. There's a battle pass or whatever they call it. I don't know if that's a standard nomenclature now. All of those things, and actually it works out pretty well. Like it really is just pretty much Fortnite, but the Final Fantasy skin over the top of it. The spells make things sufficiently different. The summons are cool. The monsters that you can level up with, and they'll drop, cool things. So there's sort of again the risk reward thing, sort of like jungling in a MOBA. All of that, it's all there, and it right now is only on mobile, which honestly is kind of a bummer. I was really hoping to play this on my PS5 or something, and I'm sure it's probably coming at some point, but I would say maybe try it out if you're not averse to playing a game like this on a small screen. I have one of those Xbox controllers with the little mount thing on it, and it actually works great if you have one of those. But other than that,
it works good with the controller. Then you can play with the controller.
You can play completely with controller, and everything is mapped, so it's not like funky.
Why do they do that? Is it on like? I wonder if it's on like Apple TV then.
Well, I was thinking like if Jerod wanted to try this, because I was kind of curious what this would be like on a Chromebook or something. But
yeah, Apple TV.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that. But it works out really well as it is. I haven't really messed around with the soft controls because I've got my Xbox controller and it works great. I lose super fast. Like there are rounds where I've gotten all the way to the end, and then there's rounds where I've been like the first guy out a few times. And I don't know. It's probably just me. So in that sense, it's a battle royale game. You'll play it a few times and be like, "Yep, I played that," and be done with it. But it's pretty good as far as battle royale games go.
It's
so
here on iOS as well, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
I have downloaded. I haven't played it yet. It is not on Apple TV, which is a pretty big bummer. Because that'd be perfect because you could play on the TV with a controller.
Yeah, I suspect that this will branch out into other platforms at some point, and I hope it does. I think it's actually pretty good as far as it goes. So if you want to play this, it's either if you want to play a battle royale game, I mean it's like Fortnite or this, and at the moment, and I'd say try this out. Give it a shot.
I would never play a video game on my phone. I would simply read a Kindle book.
Yeah, I hear you. So that's what I played this week. Final Fantasy First Soldier.
Cool.
Well, I decided I would check into a game that was old and that many of you have already themselves and know everything about. But what else am I going to do, right? So, Grand Theft Auto 5 this time.
Yeah,
I've never played this before. Yesterday.
Really? That's weird.
So where
And
did you play? Was this the free version from Epic, or how did you come across
yeah,
this?
yeah,
Okay.
I got it. Back when it was free on Epic a long time ago, and I've had it installed for like probably since then. I just decided to finally check it out. Not really sure why, other than I was just kind of like grasping for something to check out. And I guess Grand Theft Auto had been on the brain recently because of they did the re-release that was like all shoddy of the 3 trilogy from the PS2
Oh yeah,
era.
I heard.
And I don't know, I just rather than mess around paying any attention to that, I figured, oh, I'll just play, Grand Theft Auto 5, that game from 2013 that more time has passed since its release than passed between GTA 4 and 5.
If you want to feel old,
Realize that?
you are closer to your death than you are to the release of
Than you were
GTA 5.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny to think about, really, because so anyway, I booted it up and I was like, all right, let's see, is this any different from 4? Or or because I guess the last Rockstar game that I played was Red Dead Redemption, the first one. Which, help me remember, that one did come out before this, right? Yeah, it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the next one in their alternating series, I guess. If you don't count like LA Noire and stuff. But yeah, so I got in to start playing it, and so far so good. It does still seem a little bit like we're not great at making control schemes for every single genre we want to shoot.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think the problem is that they start out with that immediate action sequence, like that prolonged, like kind of
The
heist
that bank
gone
heist?
wrong.
Yeah, the like
Yeah.
9 years in the past bank
Yeah,
heist thing.
exactly. Like it's
But
not
you know
bad. Like
where
it's really cinematic and it's cool and story wise, I think it's great. But you're immediately thrust into. I think they were pretty proud of these controls at the time because I think they had redone them or something. But still, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm
Well, I'll tell
kind
you
of
what really
awkward.
made me stumble over the controls was an early mission where you're driving a car, but also trying to like shoot out the window at a guy riding a
At the same
motorcycle.
time.
And so
Yeah,
the way you do that on a controller is you're holding down the gas pedal with your right trigger, but then you have to lean out of the car to hold the gun with your
there's
left
a button.
bumper.
Yeah, there's
But
buttons to do
then to
that.
pull the trigger on the gun, you have to do the right bumper. So you're like 2 fingers on the trigger and bumper, a finger on the
I
bumper.
remember this.
Then you're doing the like you're aiming with the right
Steering
stick
and
while you're
aiming.
driving with the left stick. And it's a real
And then if you want to turn on the cinematic camera, you got to hit the circle button or
Oh, yeah.
something. I mean,
Yeah, forget it. Just forget it. No circle cinematic camera from me. But there's that, and then there's the other aspect that I really don't like about or I guess Rockstar games is like if you dare to deviate, 1 meter away from the path that they want you to take on when you're in one of the missions,
yeah.
then of course you've instantly failed the mission, right? And you got to go back to it. At least they have checkpoints this time. I remember GTA 4 was the worst because like these super duper long missions that like almost never had any checkpoints, right?
Yeah.
And the few times that I've messed up a mission so far in 5, which I've only played like I don't know 5 or 6 missions, like there's been a checkpoint fairly close by, so that's appreciable. But
So how
best
far have
of
you
the
gotten into
characters?
it?
Oh,
Sorry.
not super far. It starts you out with that like kind of flashback scene that you mentioned, and then after that, you go to so that's where like Michael is the guy that you're controlling, and then like Trevor is there, and
Mhm.
then they like I think they in the end they get away. Like he doesn't go to jail, right? Or does he? I've already forgotten.
I think they all get away.
They all
yeah,
get away, but
somebody
then
Except the
dies
one
or
guy who gets
something.
shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gets shot.
and then it says 9 years later, and then you're still with Michael, but he's like having a therapy session, and then like the cutscene ends basically, and you take over playing as Franklin, because Franklin and his buddy Lamar are like going to repossess a couple of cars, and then so basically you go from there, and you're playing as Franklin, and you're doing repossession jobs for this guy Simeon, who's basically like Nico Bellic from 4 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've done a few jobs as him, and in one of those jobs you're repossessing the car of the kid of Michael, and then so like Michael, that's how you sort of join threads with him, and I haven't gone back to his thread. So it after that mission, it puts you like in the control of Michael. But I just immediately went back over to Franklin because I wanted to. There was something I was curious about, and anyway, I just did a few more odds and ends and weird things as Franklin before I plan to actually go and do whatever Michael's first mission is. But I wanted to check and see like how much of the city or the landscape or whatever is open to you at this point. So I just took a car. I took a smart car, and I went for a drive around all the highways, and I got lost in this like hill country quarry or something, and I started going off road and crashing through fences, and I ended up back on the highway, and then before I knew it, I was like back in the middle of town, like really close to a mission again. I was like, oh, so I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I don't know. It seems fun so far.
Have you? So you haven't got to Trevor yet?
No, not yet. How far in?
He's a little bit further in, and you know what I was just thinking about, and I don't know if you're going to get there, and this is like spoilers for Grand Theft Auto 5, but you want to know the craziest thing that I've ever, like from a story continuity standpoint, the first mission, it's one of the first missions you play as Trevor, and he's like famous for kind of like being like wild and just like
he's trash, right?
Yeah, but he's also like super like dangerous.
He's crazy.
One of the first things you do as Trevor is you go and did you remember Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and the Damned?
Yeah.
It was like the motorcycle guy, and you'd like ride with your crew and whatever.
Yep.
So that main character, as Trevor, you go and you just off that guy like nothing. Like,
what's that guy doing away from Liberty City?
He's almost like an NPC. Well, Liberty City's all like part of it. It's all.
No, Liberty
City. No, this
City's
is Los Santos.
Oh, it's Los Santos. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, he's out there. He's out there, but and like it's unceremonious. Like there's no cut scene. There's no nothing. He's just like some dude running around, and you just shoot him and he's dead. And like that was the guy from that.
I didn't know
from that add-on.
I like that.
Yeah,
I mean, you want crime to have its price, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
That's right.
You can always redeem yourself if we learned anything from Red Dead Redemption.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're making me want to play GTA 5. Like I've been thinking.
Well,
I think about it all the time. I'm like,
I don't know if it's really all that good yet. I'm still. Just
I
really
like it. I mean, I had a good time for whatever reason.
I
had it on the PS. I had it on the Xbox 360. I rebought it on the PS4.
Yep,
Now I have it on PC.
Yep.
It's coming to PS5. You guys
playing
wait for that edition.
At max settings with my 7-year-old graphics card.
Yeah, the only problem for me is that I'm like none of my saves transfer over. I bet I was 30 hours into that, and I'm gonna have to start over from scratch, and I'm not really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I don't know how far I got. I probably have a PS4 save.
You know what I would really like from the next Rockstar game in this mold is that they do the Elder Scrolls thing where the main quest is just another quest, basically. And that you can kind of dip in and out as you like, and it's not as much of a guided, we're going to tell you a story sort of experience.
I think the guided story is what I really liked about GTA 5, though.
Yeah,
like I really enjoyed the characters. Like I loved
the characters
like
in this game are especially good.
Yeah, and the way they're portrayed and just like the scenarios, like Michael and his son and whatever. He like, did you get to the part where he like slips him a roofie like right at the beginning?
No, yeah.
There's some funny stuff in that.
One of my favorite missions.
You'll like switch over to the different characters, and the thing is the characters are like doing things.
Yeah.
As you're like in a different character's shoes, so you could actually run across them in the world, just being them, right?
I do like the idea of being able to like, just take a random trip off into the middle of the countryside and be like, okay, now I feel like doing a mission, and then just teleporting. Into the other character,
and the other character's in the middle of something. Like Trevor's like riding the wrong way on the interstate or something in a Humvee or something like that, and you're just like, all right, here I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I was able to briefly control Chop, the
dog
pit bull, to track a guy.
Chop.
That's fun.
Okay, you see, the thing is it's its own little brand of wackiness, and I think that I need to get back into
and like the music is cool. Like
the music is very cool
too. The high stuff is really good.
I wanted to mention that actually because I was very happy to hear my ambitions as a writer by Tupac, as well as Still DRE on this one station.
I'd be interested to see because from what I understand, Sam and Dan Hauser like handpicked the music. Like whoever it is who like came up with the kind of the musical taste of the series. I think it was the Hausers, and they're gone now. So I wonder I don't know. I guess anybody could pick music. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard to basically have the musical taste of a frat party. You know what I mean?
I dig.
Cool.
Man, speaking of music, I got the Diablo vinyl in super fast.
Nice.
Oh,
Did
really? You already got it?
Well
yeah,
done.
yeah. I was listening.
I did
to
not
it today.
order it.
It's
great.
it's good, and you missed a chance to get it half off too. It was like a good price.
It was like 20
And
bucks.
it's like
No,
it's
I didn't want it.
I think it's the first. It's at least the first 2 games, and maybe the third one too. What's the track list on there? Do you remember? Did you look at that? Real clean pressing.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't
Looks
know.
good.
It is. Mine is specifically Diablo 2.
It says that. Well, it says Diablo 2 resurrected or whatever. But if you look at the track list, I think it says that it's from the whole series. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, it is.
It's very likely they used music from Diablo 1 in Diablo 2.
Yeah, I suppose that's true too.
Games do that
I
a lot.
listened to it. Good double LP, good selection, listenable. I think
Yeah,
it's not just a bunch of like low droning sounds.
No, it was good. I was listening to it today, so good stuff. Diablo 2.
I think I finally got all my video game vinyl in. Like, I don't have any that are on order right now.
I don't even know who owes me records anymore, man. I'm just like,
That's
every day is a surprise.
That's the funny thing is I'll get something in and I'm like, oh, it's a record. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I guess
damn
I
it,
ordered
another one of
this.
these.
I don't
Yeah,
remember, but
that's like
there it
me
is.
and Warhammer books and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, oh,
You need to come on over to. I know that there have been vinyl that you would be interested in. That you would.
yeah, I would love to have a listening party at your
should do it.
house. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I've got the Space Marine vinyl. I think that game is so good.
I got that one
awesome.
too, and I don't even like that stuff.
Dude, speaking of stuff you don't like.
Oh no.
No, we had a specific request on the Discord channel for an update, so I'm going to give you all an Outlands update.
We will honor it.
Oh, these guys are just trolling us. You don't have to do anything.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. No,
I don't think he is either.
But real quick, today was our second weekly Mandrake Monday. We had a new song. It was a good song. Very good stuff. And we decided, I say spur of the moment, but it was all pre-planned, to have a feast in the middle of one of the dungeons. So we went into the dungeon, placed a bunch of tables out, food, ale, and drink, and as other players, random players would run by, we're like, hey, come join us. And they would come sit down. It was so stupid.
I love that. That's good
awesome.
that in these times men can have like camaraderie and just like get together and like have a little dungeon tea party.
That's right.
Like that's what men want.
So like I had a speech prepared and everything, and like midway through you'd have to like kill a dragon that spawned. Anyway.
Jared,
stupid.
nobody lives like you do.
Dude, it is so good. It is so good. But the other game I've been playing is, I don't remember buying it, but I sure have it. It's an early access game over on Epic called Against the Storm. And it's like a kind of a RTS survival game. So I guess it says here roguelite, which okay. But it's like, it's like a city builder, and you fail, and then like you retain some of the stuff, and you try again over and over. But the premise is the queen or whatever has sent you out to establish a colony in this like inhospitable, like it's always raining world. And it's neat. Like you start to build up your town, and then you have to like expand. You have to like chop down trees to expand, which can open up new resources, but also like big bad things and whatnot. It's a pretty neat little game, and it's one of those you just pop into it and you play for a while, and then you fail.
But you said it's a roguelike city builder?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's got like different races, like there's beavers and lizardmen and humans, and they're all good at different things. Like, so the beavers are good at chopping down wood.
But that's not even the only beaver game. Is that the beaver game?
No.
So there's more than one beaver game.
This isn't Timberborn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
2021 year of the beaver. Is that the case?
I guess it is.
Beavers are us. But yeah, so it's pretty neat. I'm not real far into it. I've played one game and lost, so I'm looking forward to.
As prophecy foretold.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
They
you like
want you to,
roguelike games, because you're
they don't
supposed to
respect the
lose.
player.
Yeah,
I know.
But yeah, so basically you just keep building up these colonies, like colonies that fail, and I kind of appreciate that it has like kind of that story built into it. It makes it kind of fun.
It's kind
to
of cool.
see how much further you can go each time. But yeah, it's just kind of neat, and yeah, I love city builders. I don't know why they're a thing for me. So
I
can
agree. I used to love the
certainly appreciate it.
Impressions games, like especially the historical city builders, and you'd like learn a bunch
like
of stuff
Caesar
about it.
3.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are so good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so nothing historical about this one, but it's a neat little spin on the genre. So
The ancient beaver civilization, I'm going to learn all about it.
dude, and the lizard men.
The lizard men are still with us.
That's right.
That's right. Controlling everything, pulling.
And they're good at hunting.
Allegedly.
So that's what I've been playing. You know what our viewers might be playing next week are the new releases for the week, which we get from tech-gaming.com. Kina Bridge of Spirits. I have seen this, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I've played it a little bit. It's sort of like if you imagine a current gen take on almost like a PS2 era third person
Like
action platforming kind
Ratchet
of game.
and Clank kind of thing.
Yeah, actually kind of like that sort of thing. Yeah, except she's sort of like this mystic forest psychic who befriends little, almost like the soot sprites from Totoro or something like that, and they sort of, you can swing them around like Pikmin and they attack dudes and things like that. It's really competent, and the production value is actually really nice. So on the PS5, I'm sure it's a good looking, good playing game.
It's out on PC as well, I believe.
Yes, I think that's true.
Yep. It looked neat. But I just didn't know anything about it. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is out on the Switch.
I think it's time to stop selling 2 versions of these games.
Yeah, it's
like just do microtransactions like a yeah.
Is this really a new game, or is it just like a?
It's a remake of Diamond and Pearl from like 12 years ago.
Okay.
Pokemon Diamond and Silk.
Blood Rain revamped and Blood Rain 2 revamped. Okay. And then I added 2 here, little games I've been kind of keeping an eye on. King Under the Mountain, which is like a RimWorld style game set in
with dwarfs.
But with dwarfs.
Yeah, I thought it would be a
fantasy.
dwarfy game.
It is, yeah.
Oh, good.
It's like
should be.
But it's like RimWorld.
Oh.
Well, there's also this
dwarfs.
game. Is it on? Did you put it on the list here? No. There's this game here called Exo 1 that is apparently getting some buzz because it's like a chill flight simulator.
Yeah, actually, if you think back to last summer, I actually played this one. This was I picked out 3 or 4 games from the Steam Games Fest when they first did it, and this is one of them. And it almost looks like the spaceship from Flight of the Navigator, since we're making a lot of 80s references tonight.
Yeah.
So it's that silvery, like kind of orby looking thing. And all it is, did you ever play that mobile game? There's one called Hot Donut or something where you would like roll this donut and it would roll over like peaks and valleys. And so you would like drop it down when you hit a valley and
Flappy
get
donut.
momentum. Something like that. I mean, it's that sort of thing. It's like that, except it's also Flight of the Navigator and in 3D and in outer space, like out on Mars or something. So it's like Interstellar and also those other things. It's all right. It's chill. It's on Game Pass too.
Oh, there you go. Looks great. And the other one I added is just this one's been out for a while in early access, but it's going to 1.0. Is Hammer Ting, which is a 2D
the Jamaican workshop. Hey man, you got to hammer the ting, man.
So what's really neat about this is, you of course it's another dwarf game. I mean, I'm not doing this on purpose, guys, but
there's like a weird dwarfs beavers theme going on.
Dude, beaver dwarves. So like it's like a 2D like Terraria style like ant colony looking game for you, and you're like under the mountain, and you make like workshops and all this stuff. You got to like mine it out and kind of keep expanding your colony as a dwarf. But there is sort of like a meta game going on above ground of all the like above ground races are like at war, and you can choose like who to support and whatnot, and it kind of changes the dynamics
they need
of
your support for
how
war
that
material.
of how that plays out, which is I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm actually kind of interested picking because I think I have it, and I played a few minutes of it real early on, and I was like, oh, this looks neat. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So Hammer Team.
Nice. Very nice.
Rad Switch and PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch titles, and PC.com/games. Deer Simulator.
Deer.
How many E's are on here? 5?
I
4?
hope that this is an acronym for something.
I don't know. It's like
It
5
better be.
E's. Your average everyday deer game.
Now, is that so? It's not a deer hunting game. It's you just be a deer.
Is it?
It is a slow life town destruction game where you're a deer that runs around a town and
It's Goat Simulator.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
All right. Game Pass deals and freebies. Game Pass now has Mortal Shell, which I guess kind of made
Decent.
some waves. It was kind of neat, Souls-like, and then Undungeon, which just came out. Looks kind of cool. It's like a pixel art kind of action RPG Twitch thing. I don't know. Looks cool.
And if you're interested, I just want to mention, if you are interested in Deer Simulator, it'll actually be on Game Pass as of tomorrow, as far as this recording goes. So the November 23rd. Mortal Shell also comes out tomorrow. So if you're like if you're watching on YouTube and you run right now, you're not going to be able to play Mortal Shell.
Hey, it's November 23rd for me.
it's on there right now. Mortal Shell's on Game Pass right now.
Oh, well, there you go. Merry Thanksgiving.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's a Thanksgiving miracle.
We don't list any specific Black Friday sales, just that they exist.
They are happening, you
Are
know.
they? I
Just
don't
go to
know.
your place.
I haven't
There'll
heard
be
anything
something there
about
on
Black
sale.
Friday.
Go to your
sales.
local
I will say-
library.
I noticed that the Avengers game, like that new one, is $20 off now, and I've heard it's good.
It's
Like, it's
also
the-
on Game Pass.
Is it?
Avengers?
Sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy.
You said Avengers, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I meant Guardians of the Galaxy. The new game that they just came.
That is
came
not
out
on
with.
Game Pass.
It's $20 off if you are interested, and I've heard it's good. So
There you go.
That'll be on Game Pass.
there's your
eventually.
Black Friday deal.
There it is. You heard it here first. Also out on the Epic Stores, Guild of Dungeoneering, which is a really charming little
Dungeon builder sort of thing.
yeah, and it's
Looks kinda
like it's
cool.
all like hand drawn, like
Yeah.
black and white hand drawn looking. It's real cool looking. The Radiohead Kid A Amnesia exhibition. Like I don't know what this is, but
People
it's free,
seem
I
to
guess.
really like this album, Kid A. I don't really know much about it.
Amnesia was, I think, the follow-up to Kid A as well, right? So it's like two albums that they're
Yeah, and they kind of came out like right at the same time, like within months of each other, and I didn't like either. I decided I don't like Radiohead. Never Alone, which is a
It's like a
you're-
2D Inuit fox simulator.
yeah, you're like you are the little Inuit girl though, and then
Yeah.
the fox
And
follows
then the
you
fox
around
is
and
like
helps
your
you. Yeah,
yeah,
like your
like
sidekick.
spirit guide. Yeah.
So looks it's probably pretty good. I actually heard some pretty good things. I think we talked about
Decent.
it on this show like
Well, I think we have.
100 years ago.
Search it.
So go back and find that. I'm sure it was a good episode. That's it.
Very good. Well, we got some news this week also. Some big news. Big news, you guys.
Ooh.
First of all, we have the nominees for the Game Awards, the Keeleys, which are ramping up pretty good. I think we've already heard a little bit about the number of games that will be featured on the Game Awards. It's something like 40 new games, something like that. Jeff
World
Keighley is doing a
premieres.
world premieres. Jeff Keighley is doing a like a podcast about behind the scenes prepping run up to it, stuff like that. So they're kind of making it into a thing. It's going to be in person, now they're doing that. So the nominees, according to the Game Awards for Game of the Year: Deathloop, It Takes Two, the co-op marriage rebuilder simulator, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a sample of what we're looking at. You can throw all of this in the garbage though until the game bites happen, but that's just that's where the plebeians are kind of turning their attention this year. I don't know if there's anything else on this. Best multiplayer is kind of interesting. Back 4 Blood. Knockout City, which is on PS Plus this month. Again, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise. New World, guys. Best multiplayer. What do we say? Thumbs up? No. Nope.
I guess it
not
came
happening.
out.
Yeah. Valheim. It's the other one on here.
Oh, I played it.
Is that multiplayer?
Yeah.
Valheim, yeah.
Yeah, it's like super multiplayer. It's like looks really fun multiplayer.
Huh.
What else is on here? I think that's kind of it.
I was
there's
kind
a
of
lot
bored.
of categories.
When I went through this and I realized that, man, there sure wasn't a lot of big games that came out this year. Like that's kind of what I got out of this.
Yeah, I think there were, but I think
The game of the year list just don't stand out to me as games that I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like they don't compare to other years of games, I guess. I mean,
where there was like a tent pole that everyone would talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure Deathloop was great. I've played Deathloop; it's great. Metroid Dread, I'm sure, is fine. Resident Evil Village was fantastic, but I would not. Maybe they're the best games of the year, but that just means that I think
in a normal year, the only one that would be on this list would be Resident Evil. I think.
Maybe Metroid Dread.
There would be like 5 or 6 other games that would be higher profile than else.
Yeah, what are the Keeleys from like Game Awards 2020? Let's look at that list. I mean, what was the list from that? The game of the year was Last of Us Part 2. Like, it's just kind of it was Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, and Hades were the nominated.
Yeah.
And those all seem like bigger, more game of the year-y games than the games on this list here. That's why it's just, I don't know.
I want to do my annual complaining though about the best score in music. The nominees: Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Nier Replicant, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and The Artful Escape. The Artful Escape actually is a really good musical thing, but the soundtrack itself, if you listen to it, is not good. Once again, score and music being thrown away just to whatever's out there. I don't know. Anyhow, I believe this is open for public vote, so you can go to the Game Awards website.
I didn't even want to. Best mobile game: League of Legends Wild Rift.
You better vote. There you go. Wow. You got one you felt strongly about.
Nice. Pretty good. Best community support: Final Fantasy 14.
Can we have best beaver game somewhere on here? Best dwarf game.
No. Best game from the last century.
Yeah.
What about content creator of the year? 5 people I've never heard
I don't
of.
even know. Like that's like your favorite esports mathlete or whatever. Like
here's the dumbest category. Most anticipated game. Should that really be an award? Like,
let's give the marketers
we
something.
We spent the most on marketing this year, therefore
a year in advance.
Well, LeGrande, what is your most anticipated?
Yeah, I'm giving that one to God of War.
Mine is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, as written here in the Game Award nominees.
Do they genuinely have that on?
Yes, it's ridiculous. I'm saying, like, it's dumb.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Starfield, I guess.
Starfield's on the list. Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Which God of War, Horizon, Starfield, I'm interested in. Elden Ring, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2, not really.
Best fighting game: Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Calling it.
Yeah, look at that list of games that nobody's ever played.
Yeah.
I only want God of War Ragnarok if it's like Thor Ragnarok.
With that, we just want that. Cremular, who the New Zealand guy, or whatever his name is.
Korg or whatever that guy's name.
Yeah,
Best
that guy.
Esports athlete.
No.
I'm voting for Simp.
I want.
That's what I'm voting for.
Dude,
I don't think
best
that means
Game Bytes show host. Where's that?
Don't make him pick. There's going to be hurt feelings.
Yeah.
Well, LeGrande, there's Simp and there's Simple also.
So really, are both of those? I don't know. Anyway, look out for those.
Oh, it
those
had a 1 in the name. It's Simple with a 1 instead of an I.
Yeah.
That threw me off.
Oh. Also going on out there, I guess we're sort of obligated to give you some updates about this. Activision in its ongoing thing
implosion
that's been going on, finally starting to draw some flack from other major game companies and publishers. This includes its actual business partners, PlayStation and Xbox. Jim Ryan, who is Sony's chief executive over at PlayStation, sent a note to their employees. I guess maybe just trying to, I don't know, maybe trying to prevent the spread of something.
I thought it was going to be DICE and Square Enix, complaining about Activision.
Yeah. They're like, the Hitman will no longer. No, I don't know. But basically saying internally at Sony that they don't believe that Activision Blizzard has done enough to address deep-seated culture of discrimination and harassment. Xbox boss Phil Spencer also sending an internal memo to his employees about the Wall Street Journal's report on November 16th, saying that he and others in Xbox management are deeply disturbed and troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard. And so there's starting to be, I will say that it is, I was a little bit surprised that these other adjacent companies, like horizontally, these companies would feel the need to comment on this. And it has gotten to the point where in a report by Bloomberg, Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, who's been there for 25 years, is at least not denying the possibility that he could leave the company in sort of conjunction with this if things are not addressed. I don't know what that addressment looks like. I don't know what Sony or Xbox, think needs to happen. But it seems like it's spreading in kind of a weird way.
Here's the question is, how do you know? How are we, general public, going to know if they fix things over there?
Here's the thing.
In 5 years,
how would you know internally? Yeah, like that's the thing. Like unless the only thing that satisfies you is that some people leave the company and then that is taken as a token for the culture having changed somehow. I don't know. I mean, that's a great question because I don't think. I think a lot of it is. I don't take this the wrong way, but I think a lot of this is public theater. It's just that certain people need to, I guess, be held accountable, and then it's a long-term thing, like Dale says. I mean, it's you find out in 5 years whether things have improved, but
or not.
Yeah.
As is more likely, you will find out if they don't improve. Otherwise, you probably won't.
Yeah. So anyhow, this seems like it is not getting buried. So this may be a little bit of a sign of potentially accountability. So I thought it was kind of interesting because it's still, making it into the boardrooms of
How long has it been
companies.
since the original complaint was filed?
It's got to be a couple 3 months by now, right?
Right? Yeah, it's still in the news
Something
cycle
like
every
that.
week. It seems there's something.
Yeah.
I guess there was a big like walkout or protest that happened internally.
Yeah.
Last week or something.
And that's right. And they actually demanded that Bobby Kotick would leave the company. That was their specific thing that they said. So we'll see. And I guess for him, I mean, I think he probably gets a bunch of money to leave.
He can follow up his movie debut in Moneyball with something else, right?
So there you have it. Speaking of accountability on maybe a little bit of a less dire scale, the Grand Theft Auto trilogy that Dale mentioned a little bit earlier came out and kind of has hit with a wet thud.
Yeah.
The response has been so bad that Take-Two, or I guess whoever, I guess it might be Rockstar, I suppose, is deciding that they're going to bring back the PC versions of the original Grand Theft Auto trilogy, which I still question whether this is a trilogy, on PC. So the PC versions of the original games are coming out because they just, there was even a patch.
It's an GTA engine trilogy. It's not really a story trilogy.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Probably all use the same engine, right?
Yeah. Well, apparently it's an engine that Rockstar has let get out of hand because they apparently can't make it do what they want anymore, even after a patch.
It's not just Rockstar though. There's been a rash of these like HD re-releases over the last several years that have been plagued with like quote unquote improved assets that are.
I remember like
improved.
Assassin's Creed 3. They remade that one and it turned out worse than.
Well, not only 3. It was also didn't they? I think they redid the entire Ezio trilogy, and it was like new graphics.
Was it bad? I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, like it was technically bad. Like the textures were bad, like the faces and the models and stuff. Like they would put them side by side, and it's like the original one looks better than the redone version.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Assassin's Creed 3. That's what happened here. That was what happened with Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. Warcraft 3 is the other one.
Number of these, like
I mean, even Diablo 2. Diablo Resurrected was having some
Has
problems.
there been
I
any
think
griping about that?
people are fine with that one. I think because it's
Yeah,
basically a recreation with up-res textures.
that one I hadn't really seen any complaints about, but
I think
most
there
of
was
them
connectivity or something.
maybe. I just wonder if these are like being farmed off to like B teams or like outsourced or for.
Oh,
to make a
surely
quick
they are. I
buck,
mean, the
and
one
then
Blizzard has their own like division for handling these old games.
that they set up after Warcraft 3 was a failure, right? Or not,
Right.
maybe not a failure, but it had a really bad reception.
Well, they actually purchased the company that redid Warcraft 3, was it? I can't remember. We talked about it on the show.
Yeah, we did, because we made a joke that they were just trying to thin out their
Oh yeah, they
their
were trying to
allegations or whatever.
That's
Lower
right.
the yeah.
Bring in some quality people so the percentage of assholes that work in Blizzard was
Yeah,
less.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to bring this up because I was wondering. I mean, we sometimes talk about this, and Dale in particular, I know sometimes you'll get a little huffy about this. Is that there's not really a lot of accountability when something turns out bad, right? Like, the company releases a statement, people keep buying the stuff. Here is a situation where I think maybe a company is being called to account and they're actually reacting in pretty short order. And I wonder if this is sufficient. If we feel like this is,
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's definitely incumbent on them to improve the quality of the thing they just released. I think it's also kind of a bad idea. I think it's just bad for everyone that they took away from sales the original versions of those 3 games.
yeah.
I just think that's really an unfriendly thing to do, for players, but also for their own like posterity, right? Don't you want?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, this is like a real like a morality like a fable, like you take away the thing that people don't want, you can't make one better, and so you got to bring it back. So
Did you guys ever play San Andreas before? I never played San Andreas.
Oh, yeah.
I played the first bit of it, yeah.
I didn't finish it because it was super duper long, but I got like really far.
I think the only GTA game I've ever beaten was actually Vice City.
I got to the end of Vice City. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah,
And
I
there's like
finished 3.
there's like a dump
Vice
truck mission
City,
that I was on for like
and 4.
3 days trying to finish that thing. Hated that.
Yeah, I had that city memorized upside down. And
I also
backwards.
finished Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony as well. Those were
Oh, wow.
those were
Nice.
both really good.
That's real good.
Yeah.
I played a lot of GTA 4 and quite a bit of GTA 5. Plenty of GTA 3. I don't know. Beat Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, me too.
Well, listen, speaking of grand theft and other large-scale questionable activities, governments, entire countries are now scrutinizing the acquisition of NVIDIA's acquisition of ARM, which would actually put them in charge of basically all the chip manufacturing for a number of vertical swaths of devices, at least in the United Kingdom, which is the first country that has started looking into this. United States also has kind of added its discerning eye into the mix, looking to see if there may be some antitrust or other untoward outcomes there. NVIDIA has said that they are wanting to keep the kind of the process open so that of course they'll be honest about it, is what they're saying. But this is kind of another one of those
monopoly on GPUs here.
Yeah, exactly. At the time when those components are really the bottleneck for a number of industries right now. I mean, I think they're starting to get through it, but it would put NVIDIA in just kind of a weird place to be the only source of either NVIDIA chips or this ARM manufacturing, I guess. And so NVIDIA has said that as part of NVIDIA, ARM will continue to operate its open licensing model, maintaining the global customer neutrality that has been foundational to its success, with 180 billion chips shipped to date by its licensees. And so we'll kind of have to wait and see if this actually stands. I sort of feel like if you have two like world powers looking into your business transactions, I mean, something is probably going to have to change before the end. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Last in our main news item here, I wanted to pose a question to you guys because Sega has released a series of 3 different colognes based on various game franchises: Yakuza, Shenmue, and Sonic the Hedgehog. And gentlemen, I want to know, what is your scent? What are you going out on the town?
Without a
smelling
doubt,
like?
it's the Kazuma Kiryu scent.
It looks good. It looks
Mm.
good. Kazuma Kiryu, I guess the scent for that one is created for the night and will have you smelling like the Tojo clan's finest crime boss. It flaunts a scent of antique oak, cedarwood, beeswax infused with smoky bourbon, leathery rose, and scorching pimento.
Who doesn't
s-
want to smell just like that?
Absolutely. LeGrande, make a pick. You have to choose a different one, too.
I have to choose a different one?
Yeah, you can't choose the same one.
Okay, Shenmue then. I'm not going to Sonic.
Going out as Shenmue, this one is clashing cardamom and bergamot, smoldering golden tobacco, deep orris, and a strong patchouli base.
Yeah, you know that didn't smell bad until you said patchouli.
Patchouli.
Mhm.
Jerod, brother, I think you are going to be going out smelling like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm gonna smell like Dr. Robotnik.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, though, out of all of these, I would have chosen Sonic the Hedgehog.
Really, this one is like you dough musk you put on when you're going hunting. Right?
That's right.
They're only available in the UK shop, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Or else
don't
I
think
would
you can really
totally
get
bought that
around here,
Yakuza
but-
one right now.
Yeah. So anyhow, just be aware those things are out there, and yeah. So sorry, the Sonic the Hedgehog is gorgeous, refreshing, and strangely invigorating. It is a fresh citrus, a zing of grapefruit zest, exotic lemon and lime, topped with the scene of the ocean breeze and chilled melon fade.
Looks like they're available on the UK shop for £30.
Maybe I'll import this. I really need to up my my sophistication game, I think, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, the Yakuza
That'll
one's
do.
actually not on here yet. It's only the Shenmue and the Sonic ones available
Ooh.
for pre-order.
Limited
Well,
edition.
you guys, you know what you can get me for Christmas. There you go. Guys, that is all the news that we've got for this week, but we are going to kick it off with our speed run. Start the music.
Pew, 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 pew.
New Smash Brothers rival, guys. Another game's coming out called Multiverses. Cashing in on that metaverse.
That's right.
From WB, it's coming in 2022. It'll be free to play. It's going to have characters such as Arya Stark, Shaggy, Bugs Bunny.
Shaggy the rapper, by the way. not
Shaggy the
from-
rapper.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Anyway,
him.
Mr. Boombastic.
play this game or don't. Probably don't.
I just find the lineup of characters like what? Like I
Dreadful.
want Arya Stark to coup de grace Tom.
Who really
Tomcat
thought this
from
would be a
Tom
good idea?
I don't know. It's free to play though, so you got to try it.
You
That's-
don't.
It's gonna be-
Batman's in it. Steven Universe.
That's right. So the thing is that all of the voice actors are like the credible like people who do those
Tom
voices.
and Jerry are in it.
Yeah.
I hate this so bad. Old Smash Brothers rival Brawlhalla is getting a Street Fighter crossover with Ryu, Chun-Li, and Akuma.
That's cool. My son played Brawlhalla quite a bit.
Monster Hunter's
fine.
getting a crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Who wrote these?
I did. I love it. And you know what I think is the coolest thing about the Monster Hunter Sonic the Hedgehog crossover is that you know how you get your outfits in Monster Hunter?
You like
Kill
skin them.
the animal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I'm really interested to find out.
I wonder
exactly
if
how
you have
that's
to
gonna
put
work.
on the Sonic the Hedgehog cologne before you
Oh,
go hunting.
Required.
there have been a
Maybe
weird
Rose
number
clone.
of like synergies this week between Smash Brothers clones and Sonic the Hedgehog smells and all of that. Xbox has released another swath of 70 new old games that are now backward compatible, including 20 more from the original Xbox. I believe this is in conjunction with some kind of anniversary, I want to say. Oh, the original Xbox turns
I think
20
this
years
is
old.
awesome. This
Yeah.
is wonderful. I really applaud Xbox for this. Are these? Can you play all of these on the Xbox Series S, X?
I believe
No.
so.
The new one, yeah, I believe.
They're all,
you
they're
can.
all like X. Is it X Cloud or Game Pass? Like, what are these a part of?
So this is just part of the backward compatible. So if you have this in your digital library, it shows up that you can install it digitally. If you have the discs, typically you can insert the disc for one of these old games, and it'll load it just as if it were on the original machine.
This is awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
A few good ones on here. Beautiful Katamari is on there. Max Payne.
Max Payne, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Azure.
The Fear games.
Is Azurek on there? I just made that up.
I don't see that one.
It'll be on the next batch, probably.
I think so.
Sure.
Near. Let's see here. Forza Horizon 5 has 10 million players in its first week.
Whoa.
which is pretty great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nerds.
I played it
Hitman
yesterday.
3 has 50 million players, and it is the most successful game so far in the series.
I love
Wow.
hearing this also because I love the Hitman series.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, Battlefield 2042, it doesn't matter how many players they have. They're all angry. And it is the worst Steam reviewed game ever.
Question is it justified or not?
No.
No.
I mean, it's bad.
Well-
There's some bad things about it, but overall, the game's fine.
You'll
Well,
be
these
glad
these
to
are
hear.
users who have paid money for this and saying that it's not, I think only 1/3 of the reviews actually give it a thumbs up just in any form. So
You'll be
66%.
relieved to hear that Earthworm Jim is getting a new TV show, Beyond the Groovy, from
You know what?
Interplay, and
The
a former Disney producer.
the old cartoon was actually kind of cute. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember it being good. Like
I didn't know
20
there
years
was an
ago.
old. There was an Earthworm
Yeah.
Jim.
Like
Cartoon?
like a Saturday morning style cartoon. Yeah.
Really?
Weird.
Yeah, his sidekick was like the little dog who turns into the big monster dog, I think.
Oh right.
Hideo Kojima is setting up a movie studio, finally.
Finally.
Finally, is this how we finally get the Metal Gear Solid movie?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think he's going to be pretty disappointed to find out that you can't have a runtime that exceeds the,
He's gonna
The-
start. He's gonna
A
like
week.
get in.
yeah,
The biggest complaints about his movies is like too many playable sections.
many playable sections.
Yeah, they're interactive movies, really.
Wouldn't that be awesome if it's like QTEs and like everybody's got to like smash
would.
that X button?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, I don't even know who's up. Wolfire's antitrust lawsuit against Valve is dismissed, citing insufficient argument.
What was
What was
this
this
about?
No idea.
This is Wolfire. So
Wolfram Alpha?
Wolfire, yeah, Wolfire is the
Oh, it was
I'm trying to
about the
remember.
fees, the 30% fees.
Yeah.
It's
basically
not
saying
Wolfram
trust-
Alpha.
Antitrust stuff. The same stuff like the Apple lawsuit.
Yeah.
Similar to
You
that.
guys ever
Unfortunately,
use
in this
Wolfram
case,
Alpha?
I don't think so.
That's Wolfram Alpha is
I
the
remember.
like mathematical Google, basically.
Yeah.
You can like ask it weird
Wolfire
math stuff.
Games. They made. Oh yeah,
remember
the
they made
Overgrowth, the Rabbit game.
Overgrowth and Lugaroo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lugaroo HD.
That's it, basically.
Yeah. Well, in the last item we've got here, Sony has patented removable faceplates for the PlayStation 5. Pretty much for the express
360 already
purpose.
did that.
Yeah. But this is pretty much for the
Remember those?
express purpose of suing unauthorized third parties from selling PlayStation faceplates.
Got him.
Nice.
I can't see. why
Thanks,
you wouldn't
Sony.
want to.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Sony.
There you
Microsoft
go,
over here
folks.
adding 70 new games to their old games list, and Sony's over here patenting stupid faceplates.
Yeah, that's true. Guys, that is going to do it for all of our news this week. That's going to do it for our speed run, and that is going to do it for the Game Bytes Show podcast for this week. I want to thank you all for being here as my co-hosts. Well done, gentlemen. I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank our viewers on YouTube, and I want to comment that if you have any thoughts or if you want to share with us any of the games that you've been playing this week, you can let us know. You can let us know all about that. You can find us on social media. Collectively, we are at Game Bytes Show on Twitter. You can also reach out to us individually. I am at Jeremy_Lamont.
You can find me at LeGrande.
I'm at Count Elmdor.
I'm at red_I.
Of course, we're at youtube.com/GameByteShow. Like and subscribe, comment, share, do all of those things. You can find us over at GameByteShow.com, where you'll find the back catalog of all of our podcast episodes. You'll also find a link there to our Discord server. Come join us. Come hang out with us. Come get the latest memes. We've got some good memes going on this week, you guys. Some good laughs to be had.
They're the
Also, that's the
memeiest.
first place that the memeiest. That's also the place that we post all of our freebies that we find all across the web. And generally, we're just fun people to hang out with. So come join us there. And we will be back next week to do all of this again to make sure that you are kept up to date, that you are entertained, that you are edified, and that you are informed about all of those things that are going on in the world of video games. Until then, folks, this has been your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Seeing you.